Hi everyone, this is Cheryl and welcome back to That's It. So Halim Khalif, if I'm saying the name right, won two gold, I believe two gold Olympic medal from last year of 2024 Paris Olympic. And there was a big scandal that if she was a she or it was a male because there was an issue with her chromosomes and that it was not accurate. Well, you guys. And I even said when I talked about it last year, let's give the benefit of the doubt. Let's not rush to judgment because, we don't want to look like an asshole in the near future. Well, you guys, I'm the asshole in the near future because I gave this person the benefit of the doubt, thinking that this person is a woman, when all reality, this person is an actual male. Yes, you guys, a male boxer, not a female boxer. And her lab results proves it, okay? So basically, in a nutshell, chromosome analogies reveal male karyotype. Plain and simple, black and white, boom. So this male pretended to be a female and enter a women's sport in boxing, and all reality that he knew that he was a man. He knew that he was a man, but he used that advantage to enter a women's sport and knocked out an Italian woman when she said that she got punched so hard that she had to quit 43 seconds of the fight because it was just so hard and so severe. And in all reality, this was a man. And I can say it, I'm always going to admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong about this. I thought that this was a woman, and they probably got it wrong, and we can't jump into conclusion. Well, the lab results said it and confirmed that this was the actual male, and it's disgusting, and I'm disgusted by this. I don't know how they're allowed this to happen, and for this man to perform in a woman's boxing sport. Obviously, the height of him and compared to the Italian woman that was boxing, just the muscle mass and everything. This man, he was a giant compared to her, and he knew this. And to me, that's cheating. That's absolutely cheating because you know that you men are more stronger, more what's the word? Have more muscle mass than women, different chromosome, obviously, and you knew this, and you use that advantage by taking some drugs to manipulate your chromosome, excuse me, so you can get into women's boxing. And for what? At the end of the day, they're going to strip your gold medal. You're going to be banned for life. That you would never ever perform in any athlete ever again because you lied. You're disgusting. You lied, and it's just sad because women out there who work very hard in sports and they feel like they get a disadvantage because you have these trans men that say they're a woman when actually they're not a woman, they're a man, and they're saying, well, we don't believe in science. I'm sorry, science do not lie, God do not lie, God doesn't make a mistake. It doesn't matter how you dress it up with makeup, wearing heels, wearing dress, your chromosomes don't lie. You are a male or a female. That is it. Now, with that being said, I don't care what gender you are. If you want to be a woman and you're actually a man and you want to be a woman, that's fine. You have every right to be that way. And I don't judge and I don't condemn it at all. However, there's no place for a man to be in women's sport, period. They should have a separate category for that for trans man that is a woman. Why they can't do that? Why do they have to set foot in a women's sport? Why? Because they know that they can be beat by women. They know they have that advantage. Why not have like a separate entity for that? Why even mess and go to women's sport? It doesn't make any sense. They fought for gay marriages. They got it. They fought for gay parade. They got it. Like, what more do you want? You can fight for this too. There's categories for that. Make a way. Because you made a way for gay marriages. You made a way for Pride. That you celebrate Pride for a whole month. When you have veterans who only celebrate Veterans Day for a day, and Pride Month is for a month. Make it make sense. Okay, you got that. You got your way. You got the LGBTQSTXY. I don't know how many letters you use. You got that too. So if you can get your way with other things, you can get your way to have a trans category for sports. What's wrong with that? Why you can't make that happen? Why do you have to interfere in women's sports? That women that work so hard for the sport that they play in, and they know they're not going to get advantage of winning because they're playing against a man. And I don't care how many ways you slice and dice, it's still a man. It doesn't matter. It's still a man. And I'm so happy and glad that President Trump, made an executive order to ban this nonsense. Because under Biden administrator, they were just foolish and dumb, and they had no respect for women at all. They had no respect for women's sports. They didn't even care if a trans male went to a women's locker room and watched other women undress. It's just outrageous. And I'm glad that President Trump made a stop to it and made an executive order and banned this nonsense because it's just ridiculous. And like I said, I'm all for gays' rights. Just like I have rights, you have rights too. And I'm all for it. But when it comes to women's sports, that's where I draw the line. Okay? That's where I draw the line that it's just more an advantage for them opposed to, young girls out there that's competing in a sport and they have no chance of winning. So they work their ass off from the day that they can walk and then go to the Olympics or play a sport, and then they have this male to compete with knowing that they may not win. How's that fair? That's basically cheating, you guys. Basically cheating. And like I said, I'm all for the trans sports, but they should have a different category for that. Period. It should not be that they should be in women's sports. Period. Now, let's just be clear about this. Okay? I don't know what is the obsession of trans male entering in women's sports. What is the obsession of that? I would love to know the obsession, of that. Like, again, write to your congressman, wherever state you live. Write to somebody to make it clear that you want to have a different entity of transgender category. It should not be in women's sports. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about, because they're so advocate about this when they should be advocating for a separate entity. And then people said there's no space for it. How is that possible? There's no space. There is space for it. You see a lot of male, trans male that plays in sports, and they should have a category for that. And the reason why I'm saying this because there was a 16-year-old student athlete, AB Hernandez, who is a biological male, okay, that does tied for a first place in high jump, triple jump at a track in high school, and he excuse me, because it's not a she, it's a he won a championship. And guess what state it is? Just guess what state that a male can play in a women's sport. California. California. Yeah, California. It's just absurd. So this male, AB Hernandez, won 2 championships of the high jumper. How that's such a disadvantage for young women, for young girls. How's that fair? That is cheating. That is a male, not a female. But I guess in California you can get away with it, and that's okay, opposed to different states. But I really feel bad for the young girls in that high school that they have no chance of winning against this guy, because I saw a footage of him jumping and running fast. Like, no chance. Like, these young girls have no chance of winning. And I'm being quite honest here. Have no chance of winning against this man. And they allow it. They allow it in the high school. They say it's okay because I guess, in California, all bets are off. All things goes, I guess. And Donald Trump is trying to make it a law there. But, with Gavin Newsom, he's not having it. He's not having it. And to me, it's just awful. It's a disgrace. It just sends a wrong message for, young girls that, they can't compete. They have to compete with, a male, knowing that a male is more faster, have more muscle mass, and it's just a disadvantage. It's just not right. So I I don't approve of this at all. I think it's just wrong. I think that hopefully that something can give and something can change in California, that they will have like a separate entity of trans male sports, and then leave the women's sports alone. Let women compete with other women. That's it. That's the bottom line. And if a male wants to play sports, then it should be a different entity, just like everything else. It's just not fair and it's just not right, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm all about everyone's rights, whether you're trans, whether you're white, black, purple, green, blue, it doesn't matter to me. All that matters to me is fairness and what is right. And what's happening in California in that school, that is not right. And again, it's not right for young students, young girls especially, excuse me, that work so hard to get where they need to be at that point, and they have this disadvantage. Well, I don't think I'm going to win because this man, young boy, is going to beat me. He's going to beat me in every sport that I compete with. And how can you compete with that? And how's that fair? It just doesn't motivate the next person to play in a certain sport or wait until they graduate from high school to go to college and then play or move to a different state, because I guess California have their own rules and regulations, which is just not right. It's just not right. I just wanted to, you know, give you my opinion. I feel like I said, it's unfair advantage for young girls that out there that's playing sports. I hope that something will change in the near future. And I just wanted to, put, give you my opinion, my thoughts about this, and just give you my perspective that it's just not right. It's just not right. It's just not fair. And like I said, I'm glad that President Trump banned this. I'm glad that Khalif is going to be stripped out of his medals, because what he did was deceitful and it was a lie and it was just wrong. It's just wrong. And he knew in the back of his mind that what he did was wrong. He knew that, and he thought he was going to get away with it. But then his lab results was leaked. It was leaked. It was leaked to the world, and everyone knows now that he is a male. He's a dude. Okay, he is a dude. And I got it wrong, and I'm sorry, you guys. I'd be the first person. I admitting it to it. I was wrong. I thought it was a woman, but just when you see a man, a woman, some women are muscular, they're toned, they're tall, and I didn't want to jump into conclusions. I didn't want to jump to a conclusion and look like an asshole at the end of the day. Well, like I said in the beginning of this video, I am the asshole because I got it wrong, and I am the first person to admit it. I was wrong. Everyone was right. This was a dude, okay? And the lab results said it. Chromosomes do not lie. And like I said, you can dress it up as many times as you want with pink lipstick, wig, heels, whatever. DNA don't lie, okay? When people say science doesn't matter, it's horseshit. Science do matter, because at the end of the day, God made male and female. You cannot change your sex. You cannot. Doesn't matter how many surgeries you get done, you cannot change your sex, because your chromosome do not change. Your DNA do not change. You can change everything else in your features on your body, but at the end of the day, science do not lie. DNA do not lie. That's why they have DNA testing. That's why they have scientists to test things. And when people say science don't matter, because they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear that there's a male, there's a female. And if you're a female, want to be a male, then that's your right. That's your business. But don't be delusional and try to convince me or other people that you are a man when you are actually a woman. You're just taking drugs to become a man. But at the end of the day, you are a woman. Same thing with a man, want to become a woman, you are a man at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter with the pink lipstick, the dress, the wig, the eyelashes, the whatever, breasts, whatever you get done, you still a male. You can never get pregnant. You can never have your period. It's just the facts. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Let me know what you think about this video. And then if you do like it, please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you think and comment on below. Thank you so much for watching. That's it. And I will see you guys next time.